Marcus stood at the massive window of the Galactic Council's space station, watching Earth's blue sphere float in the distance. 50 years had passed since humanity's first contact with alien life, but something felt wrong. Very wrong. He adjusted his diplomatic uniform and checked the small data device in his pocket for the 100th time. The weight of what he had discovered in the Council's archives kept him awake at night. The grand halls of the station sparkled with advanced technology that Earth never seemed allowed to have. Alien representatives from 100 worlds walked past him, their fancy robes and advanced devices showing off their wealth and power. Marcus noticed how they looked at him, like he was a child who didn't belong at the adults' table. "Ambassador Marcus," a voice called from behind, "admiring the view of your primitive world." Marcus turned to face Council member Blue Wing, a tall alien whose skin shimmered like polished metal. The alien's 4 eyes blinked in what humans had learned was a sign of mockery. "Primitive is a matter of perspective," Marcus replied calmly, though his hands tightened into fists inside his pockets. "We've made good progress in the last 50 years. Yes, remarkable progress for such a young species," Blue Wing said. "Though it's unfortunate about that colony ship accident last month. These things happen when developing races try to reach too far, too fast." Marcus felt his jaw clench. The colony ship accident, that was what had first made him suspicious. The ship's engines had failed in exactly the way Earth's scientists had said they couldn't fail. It had led him to dig deeper into Council records, and what he found had made his blood run cold. Later that day, in his private office on the station, Marcus opened his secure computer terminal. The evidence was overwhelming. Trade restrictions that always seemed to target Earth's growing industries. Technology sharing programs that gave Earth broken or outdated systems. Diplomatic agreements that pushed Earth further from the galactic center of power. His screen showed the truth. Council ships had secretly sabotaged the colony ship, just like they had sabotaged dozens of other human projects over the years. The Council wasn't helping Earth grow. They were keeping humanity trapped in their solar system. A message flashed on his screen. It was from Lisa, his contact in Earth's intelligence service. "Found more. Council species display unusual brain patterns when viewing human physical capabilities. Their scientists predict we could match their technology in 100 years. They're scared of us." Marcus looked at more files. The Council had labeled Earth as a Type 7 potential threat species. Their reports talked about humanity's dangerous adaptability and concerning aggressive potential. They discussed humans like they were studying a dangerous animal that needed to be caged. He sent a coded message back to Earth's government. "Confirmation received. Operation Phoenix has full justification. Begin when ready." Looking out his office window at the massive Council fleet stationed nearby, Marcus allowed himself a small smile. The Council thought they were so clever, keeping the dangerous humans in check. They didn't realize that their actions had only proven humanity right to be paranoid, right to build in secret, right to prepare for the worst. A distant alert sounded as another human ship was denied permission to expand their trade routes. Marcus watched the small vessel turn back toward Earth, knowing that underneath its humble appearance, it was mapping Council defense positions. 50 years, he whispered to himself. 50 years you've been lying to us, working against us, treating us like children or animals. And for 50 years, we've been watching, learning, and preparing. He picked up an alien datapad, its sophisticated technology officially too advanced for human use. Marcus had learned to hack it in 2 days. As he walked back to the main Council chamber for another patronizing meeting about Earth's development schedule, he thought about the silent shipyards hidden in Earth's asteroid belt, the secret research bases on Mars, and the thousands of humans training day and night for the moment Earth would show its true strength. The Council thought they were being wise by keeping humanity contained. Instead, they were creating exactly what they feared most: a human race that would never trust them, never forget their betrayal, and never, ever show mercy when the time for revenge finally came. Admiral Kate Thompson walked through the hidden shipyard deep inside Mars's largest canyon. Above ground, the Council's satellites saw only a failed mining operation. Below, humanity was building its future. "Status report," she ordered, watching workers assemble what looked like a normal cargo ship. But its hull contained metals the Council thought humans couldn't process, and its engines held power that would make those arrogant aliens choke on their own pride. "Project Phoenix is at 85% completion," Admiral reported her second-in-command, Tom. He handed her a tablet showing their progress. The Council's latest inspection team left satisfied that we're still struggling with basic spaceflight. They didn't even scan below the surface. Kate allowed herself a small smile. For 10 years, Earth had played its part perfectly. They complained about failed harvests, struggled with primitive technology, and begged for help from the Council, all while building the largest hidden fleet in the galaxy. In a secure lab nearby, Dr. Anna Miller studied alien technology stolen piece by piece over decades. "Admiral, come see this," she called out. "We've combined 3 different alien power systems into one. The Council races never worked together, so they never imagined someone could mix their technologies." The lab table held what looked like a simple engine part, but Kate knew it was much more. Humans had taken the best parts of every alien technology and made them work together. While each Council race stuck to their own ways, humans adapted and combined everything they learned. "How many ships are ready?" Kate asked, walking to the main control room. The massive screen showed hundreds of hidden bases across the solar system. Some were buried in asteroids, others hidden in gas giant storms, and more tucked away in plain sight. 2,000 combat vessels and 5,000 support ships, Tom replied, all disguised as mining ships, space junk, or research stations. "The Council thinks we have trouble building 10 ships a year. We built that many last week alone." Kate remembered the day, 5 years ago, when Earth's leaders had shown her the truth about the Council, how they feared humanity's potential, our ability to learn and grow faster than any species they'd seen before. The Council had spent 50 years trying to keep humans weak. "Message from intelligence," an officer called out. "Marcus reports the Council is planning to force Earth to sign a protection treaty next month. They'll demand we accept permanent lower status." "Perfect timing," Kate said. "All our pieces are in place. They'll expect us to either submit or try to fight with the handful of ships they know about. They'll never see our real fleet coming." In another part of the base, soldiers trained with weapons that mixed Earth's fighting skills with alien technology. The Council thought humans were too primitive to understand their advanced weapons. They didn't know that humans had not only mastered them but improved them. "Admiral," Dr. Miller called again. "The quantum jammers are ready. When activated, they'll shut down the Council's entire communication network. They won't be able to call for help." Kate walked to a window overlooking the underground shipyard. Thousands of workers moved with purpose, preparing humanity's response to 50 years of lies and control. The Council saw humans as violent creatures who needed to be contained. They were about to learn why making humans angry was the worst mistake they could make. "Send word to all bases," Kate ordered. "When the Council comes to force their treaty on us, Operation Phoenix launches. Every hidden ship, every secret weapon, every improved technology. We show them everything at once." She looked at the massive fleet waiting in the shadows. The Council thought they were being clever, keeping humanity locked in their solar system. Instead, they had forced humans to build their strength in secret, to become more dangerous than they could imagine. "They gave us no choice," Kate said quietly. "They could have helped us grow, could have been our friends. Instead, they chose to fear us and hold us back. Now they'll learn what humans do when backed into a corner." The day of revelation was coming. Soon, the Council would understand that their greatest mistake wasn't trying to control humanity. It was giving humans time to prepare their response. The Council's main chamber was packed with alien representatives from across the galaxy. They had come to watch Earth finally accept its proper place, at the bottom. Marcus stood before them, wearing his diplomatic uniform for what he knew would be the last time. "The protection treaty is simple," said High Council Leader Grayscale, his tentacles moving with satisfaction. "Earth will accept permanent guidance from the Council. For your own good, of course." Marcus looked at the gathered aliens. Some smiled with their strange faces. Others whispered among themselves. All of them thought they were watching humans bow down. None of them knew what was about to happen. "Earth has considered your treaty," Marcus said calmly. He glanced at his watch. 3 minutes until Admiral Thompson's signal. "We have a response prepared." In the space around Earth, hidden ships waited in the shadow of every moon, asteroid, and space station. The Council's sensors showed only empty space and the few weak human ships they expected to see. They had no idea they were surrounded. "Then sign the treaty," Grayscale demanded. "Show that humans can be reasonable." Marcus smiled. "Actually, we have a different kind of demonstration planned." His watch beeped once. Now, across the entire galaxy, every Council communication system suddenly went dark. Their quantum networks, which they thought humans were too primitive to understand, died in an instant. Panic spread through the Council chamber as screens went blank and communication devices fell silent. "What's happening?" Grayscale demanded, his tentacles twisting in alarm. "Quantum jamming technology," Marcus explained, watching chaos spread through the chamber. "Something you thought we couldn't possibly develop. That was your first mistake of many." Through the chamber's massive windows, ships began appearing everywhere. Not the weak vessels the Council knew about, but warships that combined human innovation with stolen alien technology. They dropped their cloaking fields by the hundreds, then thousands. "Impossible," shouted Blue Wing, all 4 eyes wide with shock. "Humans can't build ships like that." "You're right," Marcus said. "We built better ones. While you were busy keeping us down, we were busy learning everything about you, every weakness, every flaw in your technology, every gap in your defenses." The Council's defense fleet scrambled to respond, but they were too slow. Earth's ships had already surrounded every important target. 50 years of mapping Council positions had paid off perfectly. Admiral Thompson's voice boomed through the Council chamber speakers. "This is Admiral Kate Thompson of the Earth Defense Fleet. Your communication networks are down. Your defense systems are surrounded. And your arrogance has finally caught up with you." Marcus watched alien representatives panic as they realized the truth. Humans hadn't been trapped in their solar system. They had been preparing for this moment. "All Council military vessels will power down immediately," Kate continued. "Any ship that resists will be disabled. You've spent 50 years teaching us that we can't trust you. Now you'll spend the next 50 learning why that was a mistake." Through the windows, Marcus watched Council ships try to fight back. But they didn't stand a chance. Each alien race used only their own technology, their own tactics. Earth's ships combined everything humanity had learned, using weapons and defenses no single race could match. "This is impossible," Grayscale whispered, watching his mighty fleet fall to ships that shouldn't exist. "You're supposed to be primitive, weak." "No," Marcus replied. "We're human. We adapt. We learn. We overcome. And you gave us 50 years to practice all 3. The battle in space wasn't even close. Council ships surrendered one by one as they realized they couldn't fight back. Earth's fleet had too many surprises, too many technologies that shouldn't work together but did. "The Council chamber is now under Earth's control," Kate announced as human troops transported into the station using technology the Council thought was still theoretical. "Your 50 years of lying and manipulation are over." Marcus looked at the shocked faces around him. "You could have had humanity as friends and allies," he said. "Instead, you chose to fear us and try to cage us. Now you've created exactly what you feared most, a humanity that will never trust you again." Outside, Earth's ships took control of the entire Council station. The first strike was complete, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Council had spent 50 years carefully keeping humanity weak and controlled. They were about to spend 50 seconds realizing just how badly that plan had failed. 3 days after Earth's first strike, the Council's main fleet arrived. 5,000 warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, their weapons ready. They had come to teach humanity a lesson about defying the Council. Admiral Kate Thompson watched them from her command ship, the Phoenix. "Right on time," she said, looking at the massive alien fleet, "and exactly where we predicted they'd appear." The Council fleet was impressive. Each ship was bigger than anything Earth had officially built. Their weapons could destroy planets. Their armor was supposed to be unbeatable. But Kate knew something they didn't. Humans had spent years studying how to beat every single one of their advantages. "Council fleet is broadcasting," reported Tom. "They're ordering us to surrender and accept punishment for our rebellion." "Let's show them our response," Kate smiled. "Launch Operation Tsunami." The space around the Council fleet suddenly filled with small objects, thousands of them. The aliens ignored them at first, thinking they were just debris. That was their first mistake. These were human-made space mines, combining technology from 3 different alien races. The Council shift shields, designed to stop massive energy attacks, couldn't block the tiny devices that attached to their hulls. "They're starting to notice," Tom reported, watching hundreds of Council ships lose power as the mines shut down their engines. Their shields were never designed to stop something so small. Kate remembered her history lessons about ancient Earth naval warfare. "The biggest ship doesn't always win," she said. "Sometimes the smartest tactics do." The Council fleet commander's angry face appeared on their screen. "What trickery is this?" he demanded. "You're using technology you can't possibly understand." "Wrong," Kate replied calmly. "We understand it better than you do. While you were busy keeping each race's technology separate, we were learning how to make them work together." The Council fleet tried to fire their main weapons, but their targeting systems, designed to track large ships, couldn't lock onto Earth's smaller, faster vessels. Humanity had learned this weakness years ago, when they secretly watched Council war games. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Delta," Kate ordered. Earth's fleet moved like a school of fish, using formations no alien race had seen before. While Council ships tried to fight in straight lines, human ships flowed around them like water. "Admiral," Tom called out. "The Council's bringing in their elite guard ships." Through the command window, Kate watched as 300 massive black warships appeared. These were the Council's best vessels, kept secret from Earth. But humanity had known about them for years, thanks to careful spying. "Launch our new fighters," Kate ordered. Hundreds of small ships shot out from Earth's fleet. They looked simple, almost primitive. The Council ships didn't even bother raising their shields against such tiny threats. That was their last mistake. The fighters carried special weapons that combined human missile technology with alien energy systems. The Council's mighty ships never expected such primitive vessels to carry weapons that could pierce their strongest armor. "Council fleet is in chaos," Tom reported with satisfaction. "Their ships can't coordinate. They've never trained to fight together. Each race is trying to use their own tactics, and they're getting in each other's way." Kate watched as the mighty Council fleet fell apart. Their ships were stronger, their weapons more powerful, but they fought like strangers. Earth's fleet moved as one, using tactics practiced in secret for years. "Send in the capture teams," Kate ordered. "Let's show them what else we learned while they weren't watching." Special Earth ships moved in, using technology stolen piece by piece over decades. They could take over Council ships from the inside, turning their own vessels against them. The aliens had never imagined someone could combine their control systems this way. "Council fleet is surrendering," Tom announced after another hour of battle. "Over half their ships are disabled or captured." Kate looked at the battlefield. The Council's mighty fleet was in ruins, defeated by the humans they had tried so hard to keep weak. Their best technology and strongest ships had failed against human adaptability and creativity. "Send word to Earth," she ordered. "Phase 4 is complete. The Council's best fleet is defeated. Now they'll learn that keeping humanity down didn't make us weaker. It just made us more determined to prove them wrong." The stars flickered as damaged Council ships drifted powerless in space, a testament to the price of underestimating humanity's potential. Marcus stood in front of the captured Council Communication Center, watching as his team prepared to broadcast the truth to every world in the galaxy. For 50 years, the Council had hidden their lies. Today, that would end. "Are we ready?" he asked his assistant, Robert, who was checking the final connections to the galaxy-wide network. "All set," Robert replied. "Every planet, every colony, every space station will see this. The Council can't stop the broadcast. We're using their own emergency channels against them." Marcus took a deep breath and nodded to the camera operator. "Begin transmission." His face appeared on billions of screens across thousands of worlds. "People of the galaxy," he began, "Earth brings you the truth. For centuries, the Council has lied not just to us, but to all of you." Behind him, large screens showed proof of the Council's deceptions, secret documents, hidden recordings, evidence of how they had held back not just Earth, but dozens of younger races. "They kept us divided," Marcus continued. "Told each race they were special, different, not ready to work with others. But look at what they hid from all of us." The screens showed more evidence: how the Council had secretly sabotaged trade between younger races, how they had encouraged conflicts to keep potential rivals weak, how they had stolen innovations and buried them to maintain their power. On the planet Verde, green-skinned aliens watched in shock as they learned how the Council had blocked their medical advances from reaching other worlds. In the ice rings of distant moons, the crystalline frost people discovered how their revolutionary energy systems had been suppressed. "Earth was not their only victim," Marcus explained. "We were just the first to fight back. Now we offer you all a choice: stay under Council control or join us in building something better." In another room of the communication center, Tom watched as responses began flooding in. "It's working," he told Marcus during a break in the broadcast. 17 younger races have already pledged to support Earth. They're sharing their own stories of Council manipulation. Marcus wasn't surprised. During their years of preparation, Earth had carefully mapped out which races might become allies. The Council's arrogance had created many enemies. "What about the Council member races?" Marcus asked. "Even better," Tom grinned. 3 of them are refusing to fight against us. They've seen how we defeated their best fleet. They're starting to question everything their leaders told them about humans being primitive." On the screens, more allies declared their support. The rock shapers of the outer rings, tired of having their mining rights restricted. The star sailors, angry at how the Council had limited their exploration. The crystal mines, who had suspected the Council's lies, but never had proof until now. "Council leadership is demanding we stop the broadcast," Robert reported. Marcus laughed. "They still think they can give us orders. Show the next part." The broadcast shifted to show recordings of Council leaders planning to keep younger races weak. Their own words proved their guilt. Across the galaxy, anger grew as centuries of lies were exposed. "Our fleet reports Council military ships are standing down all across the galaxy," Tom announced. "Their own crews are refusing to fight after seeing the evidence." Marcus nodded. This was what Earth had planned for, not just a military victory, but a complete change in how the galaxy worked. The Council had spent centuries building their power on lies and fear. Earth was tearing it down with truth and unity. "Send the next message," Marcus ordered. "Tell every race that Earth wants to hear their story, to learn their technology, to trade fairly with them. Show them what real cooperation looks like." The responses were immediate and overwhelming. Races that the Council had kept apart for centuries began reaching out to each other. Trade offers, cultural exchanges, and alliance proposals flooded Earth's communication systems. "The Council is finished," Robert said, watching the messages pour in. "They'll never recover from this." Marcus smiled. thinking of how the Council had feared humanity's potential to unite and lead others. "They were right to fear us," he said, "but not because we're dangerous. Because we're doing what they never could, bringing the galaxy together as equals." The old order was crumbling, and from its ruins, something new was rising. Earth had not just won a war. They had started a revolution. General James Reed stood on the bridge of Earth's newest warship, the Liberator, watching as the combined fleet of Earth and its allies prepared for the final battle. The last loyal Council forces had gathered at their fortress world, Centrix Prime, for one last stand. "All ships report ready," his tactical officer reported. "Earth forces, star sailors, rock shapers, and crystal mines, all in position." James nodded, feeling proud. Just weeks ago, these alien races had been strangers. Now they fought side by side with Earth, their ships working together in ways the Council had always said were impossible. "Council leaders are broadcasting," someone called out. "They say they'll destroy their own fortress rather than surrender." "They still don't understand," James said quietly. "Put me through to all ships." He looked at the massive Council fortress ahead. For centuries, it had been a symbol of their power. Today, it would become a symbol of their fall. "All ships, this is General Reed," he announced. "The Council thinks we're here to destroy them, just like they would do to us. Let's show them what makes humans different. Begin Operation Sunrise." Thousands of ships moved forward together, but instead of attacking, they surrounded the fortress in a perfect formation. The Council forces waited for an attack that didn't come. "Launch the ground teams," James ordered. Special pods shot out from the fleet. Inside each one, human soldiers worked alongside alien allies. During the weeks since Earth's rebellion began, they had trained together, learning to combine their different strengths. "Council defenses are exactly where our spies said they would be," reported Captain Linda from the ground team. Their arrogance made them predictable. They never changed their codes, never improved their defenses. They didn't think anyone could reach them here. The Council's orbital guns, designed to fight capital ships, couldn't target the small pods. Their ground defenses, built to stop huge armies, had no answer for small mixed teams using combined technology. "First barrier down," Linda reported. "The rock shapers' sonic drills work perfectly against their walls. Crystal mine tech is blocking their sensors. Star sailor ships are keeping their fleet confused." James watched as decades of Council planning fell apart. They had built their fortress to stop any one race from defeating them, but they never planned for many races working together. "Team 3 reporting," another voice called. "We've reached their central control room. Council leaders are trapped inside. Remember," James ordered, "we take them alive. Earth doesn't want revenge. We want justice." The Council leaders had expected Earth to be brutal, to destroy everything like the primitive violent species they thought humans were. Instead, precise teams disabled their defenses with minimal damage and no deaths. "Sir," his tactical officer called out, "Council ships are powering down. Their crews are surrendering." Through the main window, James watched as the mighty Council fleet gave up. They had seen how Earth treated its new allies, how humans shared technology and knowledge freely. Many Council ship crews wanted that friendship more than they feared their old leaders. "Ground Team 1 has secured the main fortress," Linda reported. "Council leadership is in custody. They're crying, sir. They can't believe we didn't just bomb everything." James smiled. "Send word to Earth. The fortress is secured. Operation Sunrise is complete." He looked at the tactical display showing hundreds of ships working together. Humans had done what the Council feared most: united the younger races and shown them a better way. "General," his communication officer called, "we're getting messages from across the galaxy. More races want to join our alliance. They've seen how we fight, not for destruction, but for justice." The Council's mighty fortress, built over centuries to be unbeatable, had fallen in just 6 hours to a united force using teamwork and smart tactics. Not through overwhelming force, but through careful planning and cooperation. "Begin the cleanup operation," James ordered. "I want this fortress turned into something new, a place of learning and cooperation, where all races can come to share knowledge." As his teams moved through the fortress, carefully securing dangerous technology and freeing political prisoners, James thought about how wrong the Council had been. They thought keeping races apart made them safer. Instead, it had created the very thing they feared: a united galaxy led by humans who refused to accept their lies. "Send word to all ships," he said. "The age of the Council is over. The age of cooperation begins today." The fortress that had been a symbol of fear and control would now become a beacon of hope and unity. The Council's final defeat wasn't through violence, but through something they never expected from primitive humans: wisdom and mercy. 1 month after the fall of Centrix Prime, Marcus stood in the newly rebuilt Council chamber. But now it wasn't just a place for the powerful few. Representatives from every spacefaring race filled the room. The chamber had been redesigned with sections for all species, not just the elite. "The final vote is complete," Marcus announced to the gathered representatives. "The old Council is officially dissolved. The new Galactic Alliance of Free Worlds begins today." He looked around the room, seeing faces and forms from across the galaxy. Former Council races sat beside those they once called primitive. Star sailors chatted with rock shapers. Crystal mines shared ideas with Earth scientists. This was what the Council had feared most: true unity. "Bring in the former Council leaders," Marcus ordered. The once mighty rulers were led in, not in chains, but walking freely under guard. They looked confused, having expected harsh punishment from the violent humans they had feared so much. "Your trial was fair," Marcus told them. "Your crimes are proven. But Earth believes in justice, not revenge. Your punishment is to live among the races you once called primitive, to learn from them, to see what you missed because of your fear and pride." The former leaders were led away, each to live on a different world where they would learn how wrong they had been about other races. In another part of the chamber, Admiral Kate Thompson watched as alien engineers studied the hybrid technology Earth had created. "You see," she explained to a group of curious aliens, "every race has good ideas. When we combine them, we can do amazing things." The aliens were fascinated. The Council had told them different technologies couldn't work together. But humans had proven that wrong, creating ships and devices that used the best of everything. "Message from Earth," Tom reported, walking up to Marcus. "The first group of alien students has arrived at the new Galactic University. Every race is sending their brightest young people to learn together." Marcus smiled. The old Council fortress had been transformed. Where there were once weapons, now there were classrooms. Where there were prison cells, now there were laboratories where different races worked together. "Report from the trade fleet," another aide announced. "The new open trade routes are working better than expected. Worlds that never talked to each other are now major trading partners." This was Earth's real victory, not the defeated Council fleet or the captured fortress, but the new connections forming between races. Humans had shown the galaxy a better way. "The crystal mines have an announcement," Tom said. "Their combined research with Earth scientists has created a new form of faster-than-light travel. They're sharing it with everyone." This was happening everywhere. Without the Council's restrictions, races were sharing their knowledge freely. Problems that had seemed impossible were being solved by races working together. "The former Council races have something to say," an aide reported. Marcus turned to see representatives from the old Council powers step forward. They had changed in the past month, learning what real cooperation meant. "We were wrong about humans," their speaker said. "We feared your adaptability, your creativity, your strength. We thought these made you dangerous. Now we see these traits make you the perfect leaders for a united galaxy." Marcus shook his head. "Earth doesn't want to lead alone. We want to work together, all races bringing their strengths to make a better future." The chamber erupted in applause. This was what made humans different from the old Council. Earth didn't want to rule. They wanted to unite. Report from the exploration fleet, Cave announced with a smile. 3 new races have been discovered. Under the old council, they would have been kept weak and isolated. Instead, we're welcoming them as equals. Marcus looked out at the stars through the chamber's giant window. The galaxy was changing fast. The council had spent centuries building walls between races. Earth had torn down those walls in weeks, replacing fear with friendship, control with cooperation. Begin the first session of the Alliance, Marcus announced to the gathered representatives. We have a lot of work to do, building the galaxy we all deserve. The chamber filled with voices as representatives from across the galaxy began working together. The Council's greatest fear had come true. But instead of bringing destruction, it had brought hope. Humanity had shown that the strongest force in the universe wasn't weapons or power, but the ability to bring people together. The age of fear was over. The age of unity had begun.